Oh, we already started? What is good, Rangers of the Grid? We here, we back. Episode 41. We over 40. 40 is the new 20. 40 is the new 30. 40 is 40, but it's still looking good on us. What is good, my man?
40 water. Oh, you know. Just grinding, dog. Just grinding.
Couple
I
my
say that in
piece
my
because I'm laced with game. Nothing but the yay flowing through my veins.
dude. One of my
Sick song.
the classes I have right now is like a principles of language class, kind of like almost like a speech therapy class for like pathologists and study all this stuff. And we're going over like all the vowels and like what noise they make and all that. And one of them's a ooh, like a ooh. So I'm like, oh, you gotta say it. So when you say, oh, so what's this sound? I'll be like this in class. Ooh. No one gets it.
No, they don't get it. That's okay though. I get it.
No,
Hey
I
man,
know.
so like things are busy. Things is moving big. Just transparency. I recorded Swishes Hits and Kicks earlier, like at 3:30 as soon as I got home. And I was actually kind of talking about the same thing, although mine's a little different because I'm talking to myself. There's no one on the other end.
I mean, I do that all the time.
Help. Anyways, and I was saying the same thing, that things are busy and things are kicking up as far as like just work and then like my own testing stuff I have to do for myself. Things are ramping up, right? And I was talking about how like, normally like, yeah, it's stressful, right? It's very normal to be stressful with this kind of stuff. But I'm a type of person, and I'm pretty positive you are too, based off just what I know from how long I've known you and how you deal with you deal with adversity. Stressful, time crunch, like things like that almost make me perform better.
Yeah.
Like I want the like 10 seconds are left, I'm gonna hit this game winner. Like I like that. I'm gonna push that back to Rangers.
Pressure makes diamonds.
Well, and also it's almost like we want to be the heroes to our own stories,
Right?
and if we're writing the story, why wouldn't we make ourselves the hero?
Yeah.
Right? And that's exactly what we're doing here today on our final chapter, basically, of Power Rangers Dino Thunder. We've been talking about Power Rangers Dino Thunder for a bit now, over a month.
Yeah, over a month.
And today's basically the final day that we're really going to get into it. And just looking back at all the things, man, like this is a really good season. And before we jump into like just like maybe favorite parts, overall feelings, we've said before since we kind of started, like this is arguably Marcus's favorite season.
100%.
That's why today, like I am gonna let him like kind of just go off, right, on why. And before I do that, I just want to share with him and you guys listening right now some rankings, all-time season list rankings. Okay, because on a lot of things, like I've heard Marcus say why Dino Thunder's the best, like especially to him. He's not really wrong, just so everyone knows. Like it's funny because like the points he brings up all make sense. It's like, yeah, you're right. Like they hit on all those things. So I'm gonna talk about a couple of these rankings just because I'm curious what Marcus thinks. The first one is this website called Den of Geek. You've probably heard of it.
Them. Yep.
This was made about 2 years ago. Okay. And we'll just go top. What do you want to do? Top 10? Let's do top 10.
Yeah.
Top 10. Number 10, Dino Charge. Okay. Number 9, Dino Fury Season 1.
Okay.
Number 8, Ninja Storm. 7, Time Force. This is interesting. 6 Turbo.
Oh, okay.
Number 5, interesting. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, season 3.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, is it broken up? But okay.
Number 4, RPM. Number 3, In Space. Number 2, Zeo. And number 1, Dino Thunder. All right, here's another one.
That's a good top 3.
There's
honestly.
a couple. It's pretty good. There's a. This is a screen rant. Screen rant.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. This is one that was made in October of 2023. So around the time Cosmic Fury came out.
Yeah.
Number 10, Time Force. 9, Turbo. 8, SPD. 7, RPM. 6, Cosmic Fury. 5, Lost Galaxy. 4, In Space. 3, Dino Thunder. 2, Zeo. And number 1, all of Mighty Morphin. All right, I got another screen rant one that was done 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
Then this one was not even seasons, but best teams.
Okay.
Right? So that's different, right?
Yeah.
It's actually vastly different.
100%.
10, Wild Force Power Rangers.
Okay.
9, the Zeo Power Rangers. 8, Ninja Storm Power Rangers. 7, Lightspeed Rangers. 6, Time Force Rangers. 7, Lost Galaxy Rangers. That includes Magna Defender. 4, the Dino Thunder / Cosmic Fury Rangers. I'm not going to lie. They're hitting on that Dino Fury, Cosmic Fury. People are missing out. Number 3, Dino Thunder Rangers.
Okay.
Number 2, In Space Rangers. Number 1, Mighty Morphin. Mighty Morphin before Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. That's
the
original put on there.
The original 6. Okay.
But Tommy could be green or white.
Oh.
I know. And then I'll just do a quick top 5, one more on this Reddit one. That was a vote through Reddit. Actually, I'll do a quick top. They have it weirdly done, but I'll just do like a top 13 because it's the way they have it sectioned out. Number 13 is Wild Force. 12 is Jungle Fury. 11 is Dino Charge. 10 Zeo. 9 Lightspeed Rescue. 8 Beast Morphers. 7 Ninja Storm. 6 Lost Galaxy. 5 Dino Thunder. 4 SPD. 3 In Space. 2 Time Force. Number 1 RPM. And this was based off votes.
I see that.
In the Power Ranger Reddit. Now, this is what I thought was wild, is that the 3 Mighty Morphin seasons that were broke up were number 14, 15, and 16.
Wow.
And I'm like, I was very surprised. But Reddit's different. So.
Yeah. I think, where'd you go?
Sorry about that.
It's all good. Welcome back.
I don't know what happened. It like dropped or something. Something weird happened.
Oh, I don't know. Well, you back, dog. Okay.
Sorry, guys. That was just
guess what? We fixed
it
in post-production.
No,
so I think what's interesting about that list, I almost kind of feel like, in a sense, Mighty Morphin is kind of, it's like how we used to rank like matches back when we would wrestle, or like who had the best match, and who was the best wrestler that night. You know how we would always take Tony out?
Oh yeah.
Like we'd like, okay, exclude Tony, and then for a minute it's like exclude Tony and Mike, because it's like they get to a level like they're going to perform good. Mighty Morphin, I feel, has that in the sense of like that nostalgia. That's the OG. That's what's always the focus on. That's the core of the franchise. It's always going to be. Although, let's be real, the show It had its moments, but it's not like, they're not hitting on things like later seasons did,
I'm surprised season 3 gets all that love.
Yeah. Because that was when it really I felt like season 3 started to really just like,
I
mm.
mean,
But
yeah, that's like
I think the reason why possibly is because season 3 is, in a sense, kind of tied in with the movie, not really obviously two separate things.
ooh, good job.
But I
Yeah,
think
okay.
because it follows it, because Ninja Quest, the suits, people remember
Yeah.
that. And I think that's why.
Well, dude, like low key, like, and I know we're talking Dino Thunder, like Ninjetti stuff's actually cool.
People love the Ninja
Looking
suits.
back. Yeah.
Those are some dope suits. I'm not gonna lie.
And it's funny because like seeing Dino Thunder is about a top 5 season, which is
Yeah.
kind of like, and like that's like a huge compliment considering there's so many seasons of Power Rangers. Like
Out of 30 some seasons. Yeah.
you're considered like a almost like automatic top 5.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And looking back on the seasons, man, us talking about it, I think I cat out the bag. The number one help was Tommy.
100%.
Right? You sent me something the other day about brought all the 90s Power Ranger fans back was him. That
Mm-hmm.
scene. What was the scene? Can you tell them what the scene was?
It was when he was morphing again, like once, and he's telling Elsa, like, here's the thing you gotta learn about, dino gems. They go real great with dinomorphers. He puts it in, you're like, oh, it's coming. He about to morph. And then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
aren't you a little old for this, Tommy? And he says
Mm-hmm.
my favorite line. And that's the line I said, like, when I went back to wrestling. So I remember I sent it to you after my first match when everyone was asking how it went. Like, and Tommy says, I may be old, but I can still pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then homie morphs, and it's just dang.
And you do when you said how like that brought you back in, that literally brought it back. And I think that also aids to it being such a favorite season,
Yes.
because not just that, but like that led to a great story throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
And like you said, the last episode, the White Dino Ranger, the White Dino Thunder Ranger, like
Mm-hmm.
great arc. Didn't completely join them right away.
Yeah.
Different, right? It
Yeah.
had just enough differences to be its own. All right. Now, we didn't even talk about how we're going to do this. If you want to go over toys and video games first before you go into your fandom.
Yeah, let's go into all the other stuff first.
Okay.
Get that out the way.
All right. Let me tell them. Marcus is a collector of the Dino Thunder Zords, right? And just in in general.
Yeah.
Right? So Marcus, tell them like what you have per se. Like what have you collected from Dino Thunder?
I got back when it first came out. I have the morphers.
Uh-huh.
I have all the face plates. The only ones I don't have from the morphers are the like golden plates. Because
Okay.
there came a gold one with like the battleizer of
Mm-hmm.
the T-Rex, but they also made gold ones, like gold plates of the Tricera and Terra Zords. But I don't have those ones. But I have all the other ones, even like the Frost, like evil versions of
Mm-hmm.
like the like Blizzard Force Zords that came in from like the Dino, like the Abare, like Super Sentai season, or
Yep.
like the movie they did, like with those Zords. I have those morpher, like that morpher too. I have the legacy, not the legacy. No, it was the legacy collection right before the lightning ones. Remember the thick toys that they were coming out with, and they only did a
Mm.
few teams. I feel those teams that they did were very telling though of popularity.
Okay.
Ninja, because they remember they only did the 3 of Ninja Storm, Zeo, Dino Thunder, Mighty
Mm-hmm.
Morphin, the shiny metallic Mighty Morphins.
Yeah.
Um, so I have all those for Mighty Morphin, or from Dino Thunder. I have all the Lightning collection for Mighty Morphin. I have Brachio Staff. I have the White Drago's sword. Actually, I have the Tricera shield, Terra rings, Tyranno staff. The only one I don't have yet, which I've seen that I didn't know they made, but I've seen it, is the Triassic shield, like Shield of Triumph.
Okay.
Which you can then put the face plates of the other like Zords on, and then the blaster.
Wow.
Yeah. And
So, like I told you guys, Marcus is a big fan of Dino Thunder.
And I got this. But yeah, so yeah.
I remember seeing these right out and about, shopping as a kid, being that kid who was like weird about looking at toys at Toys R Us, and always asking for a gift receipt. Even at this time, I was 14 when a lot of these toys were out. I was 13, 14. And there's some that I don't remember a ton about. And I'm going to share my screen when we go over a couple of these, okay? Shout outs to greenranger.com. Greenranger.com. And it's spelled a little different. Really is helpful for all Power Ranger just like ideas, I guess you'd say, or like toys. Have you heard of this? So have you seen this? Have you seen this?
I have seen that.
This is interesting.
That's the Blizzard one. It's a little repainted for Dino Thunder.
Yeah.
And they even made
go ahead.
They made the Pterodactyl because there was no Pterazord with it. So they made it that's exclusive to the US just for the toy, and they painted it green. Yeah. That's the Blizzard Force one.
I know. I just thought that was always interesting.
It's cool.
Yeah, and there's just some that are interesting. Like I don't remember this.
Yeah. I think I have.
Do you remember this?
That's the Triassic Ranger Zord.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't remember it. But like there's some that I remember pretty well. Like the Stegozord, right? Like I remember this well.
Yeah.
I remember that pretty well. Oh, you don't have it?
No. Because when I hit that guy up, when I got the majority of them, the Zords, he had the whole lot. And then I was like, hey man, can I see some pictures of all of them? Because I wanted all of them. And because he had the Brachiozord, the White Ranger one with the Stegozord, all that.
Let's talk about this.
That's an interesting thing.
This is interesting, right?
Yeah.
So Marcus, when you look at this, can you name off what everything is?
Well, obviously that's the Mega Battle, I think. No, but I'm talking about the Morpher spaceship looking thing. That's
with like the strap right here, right?
The Mega Battle. I actually had that as a kid because I thought it was cool. The Dino Thunder like symbol, which is cool. But then below it, you got the buckle, then the Magna Defenders. Is that the sword and then like the sheath that goes over it?
Yeah.
That's just so weird and random.
In a Dino Thunder packaging released in the fall.
I've seen that and I'm just like, that's so weird. I remember they even had like a bike, bro. They're like a tricycle.
This was interesting to me. I don't remember this.
Oh, I don't remember.
It's just one big Megazord that's over 2 feet tall.
Okay.
And I don't think it breaks apart.
That's crazy.
Interesting, right?
That's cool though.
Some of these I don't remember.
Yeah. I remember that.
At first, though, when I look at some of these, I think this is like a Denios.
It kind of seems like it, right?
Yeah. Wasn't this weren't you one in the soft one?
No, mine is plastic. The soft one they had for, I think, Shadow Saber. Oh no. Homie's gone again. And you're back again, dog.
Man, Google out here, guys. Google is just coming at your boy right now. Like
AT&T, Google, man, what's going on?
I don't know, bro. I guess that solar flare just hit, huh?
It could.
Solar flare just hit, but yeah, the toys, man, the toys were big.
I feel like with Dino Thunder, that was when we really started seeing like a ton of toys for like Rangers coming out, like different variations. Like you had your normal 6-inch ones, you had then they never came out with like a Super Dino mode one, but they came out with these like battleized like armor ones, which were
Mm-hmm.
cool because it was like it would come with like their Raptor rider with like the Raptor, but they would be almost look more like a combination of like an actual like the Raptors they rode and the like Raptor cycles, and you could take them off and add armor to them and stuff like that. I remember they had stuff like that. There was
You
just
know,
a
one of the
lot.
cool things I liked was like they did a lot of packs with Dino Thunder.
Yeah.
Like you could get all three of their morphers in one pack,
Mhm.
which I thought was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that really started too with because let's be real, like normally um for the most part, like a lot of times like morphers were kind of just one and done, and that'd be
Mhm.
it. Um, but I think it really kind of changed up with Ninja Storm. Because I remember because
Okay.
Ninja Storm had the coins. So they
Yeah.
would do the one and they'd have the other coins in there. Because I remember I got the Thunder Ranger ones because I thought, dude, Thunder Rangers love them. And I remember you just pull off like the antenna, put on the one you want, and change the coin, you know. So I think Ninja Storm kind of started that trend a little bit, and then Dino Thunder just took it and ran with it.
Now I have a question about um the morphers.
Mm-hmm.
So they made like other colors, right? Besides the Rangers, no? Of morphers? They did a Triassic morpher, right?
Yes,
With the Sordis Zord plate, right?
yeah.
And then they
So
did a
they because I think it
I
was
saw a
with
picture of it and it looked really cool. So
yeah, because I know with so they had the original three that came out by themselves, and then when the Black Rangers came out, his came with the Dimetro Zord one, like the
mhm.
blue one. Then the white one came with the Stego one, and then I know um with the Triassic Rangers one, it came with the Mezzodon one,
Mhm.
a gold one, like a gold version of the T-Rex one. And then
Mm.
there was even another one too that came with it, I think. It was like a kind of like chrome plate. It looked like it wasn't like the T-Rex. It was almost kind of like almost I thought was like a raptor because it was like sleeker. And it was
Mm.
kind of like it wasn't necessarily gold. It was like this mix of like gold and like silver kind of. It was weird. It had like a kind of off color. But the other ones, I don't know when they came out or how they came out with them. But I mean, I know they exist and I got them.
You know, and as far as the Brachiozord never came out, right?
No, they never released one.
Mhm.
I think it did come out as like a Lego set thing, but I mean, it's a Lego thing. It's not with the actual Zords.
I have a theory as to why.
Because it's so big.
Yep. Too big for our
And
toy shelves.
yeah, and then also, the one that is out now, like the DX version, it's kind of like the same size as like the Megazord, but it opens up, and instead of having like the actual Zords itself in there, they're like little like kind of crystallized versions of them, of like all
Mm.
the different
Don't you
Zords.
want one of those Brachiozords?
I do. I really
Yeah.
do. And plus,
Yeah, I
especially
do.
because the head you can
Mhm.
take off and it connects to the arm. Like so it could be the arm and the
Mm.
Megazord, which I think that's super cool. But
That is cool. So the toys were sick, man. The video games, they only had one video game. It went to
yeah.
like PlayStation 2, and
Hmm.
I believe Game Boy,
Yeah,
really,
Game Boy
like
Advance, I
mostly.
think.
Yeah, GameCube as well. The
Yeah.
console version was different than the Game Boy version,
Oh, yep.
of course. But I don't know if you know this, but in the console version, you can unlock Zords from Wild Force and Ninja Storm
I did not know that. That's really
to
cool.
play to play as.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so I think it's actually really cool. Now, like most Power Rangers games, it doesn't have this like amazing like score about reception from people, but
Yeah, it's like a
it is
typical,
what it
ooh,
is.
collect these, fight
Yeah,
this.
yes, yes, very much so. So we've talked about like the toys, the games. We've even talked about some rankings of like what others believe. Oh, before I go any further, hey, I remember you were super stoked when Hasbro put out some Dino Thunder type figures. Remember that?
Um, what? Which ones?
So what? They've came out with all of them, all 5.
Oh, for the Lightning collection, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I
Yeah,
got them, dog.
you were
Even
stoked.
Mesogog, even Mesogog.
Oh yeah, all
So
6 then.
yeah, the only thing that sucks is like I wish they would have did like a Tyrannodrone, um, what it a Kelz not Kelzak, Triptoid. Um,
Well, I mean, technically they did more than Legacy.
True. I mean, they got all 5 and the villains, so that's pretty cool. So, you know, but knowing that
Yeah.
they're doing like, that how they have some like foot soldiers, it would have been cool to see a Tyrannodrone, a Triptoid, mostly Tyrannodrones, because those to me are way sick.
It's not Mighty
Zeltrax.
Morphin, man. Don't you know?
I know. Sorry. It's
You
just it's
expecting too
Mighty
much.
Morph. It's Mighty Morphin's little brother.
Sure. Sure. So yeah, so I think it's time. I think it's time to let you loose, man. Explain to them why you believe Dino Thunder is the best.
Okay. First of all, I will admit it's a great. I will say it's an amazing season, but I will admit there are some faults here in the season. It's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. It is not perfect. Um, but first of all, it's great because this really feels like, and it kind of showed where Power Rangers could go. What I mean by that is this is not a season that was a anniversary season. This was they did have the 500th episode, which they did used as Legacy of Power, which was, let's be real, a fan service episode. But still, it was a great way of honoring the show that lasted 500 episodes. Because a lot of shows don't hit that milestone. So it it was great at playing on that. The dinosaur theme. This is before it's been done over and over again, like recently. But then also just the return of Tommy. And this was, I feel, the best Tommy, the best version of Tommy. Because he's not the Red Ranger, but we go back to that thing. Like we said, Tommy as a Red Ranger was always kind of like like we know why he is, but he
Mhm.
never needed it. And this was another example of that. He's now like the mentor. Like he's the perfect mentor. He's someone who's been there before. He's done the Ranger thing. He's been evil, you know. This
Mhm.
is a great way to play on that. Like if anyone from Rangers are ever going to be a mentor, this is obviously who you go with. Um, but also I think it was just there's a lot of great moments here with like taking risks on stuff because it's like Ninja Storm played it pretty close to home with how they did things, but this one they kind of did a lot more of like a, hey, let's connect this back to other stuff. We're gonna we didn't get the Ninja Storm Wild Force crossover, and the crossovers we got with Dino Thunder are honestly
Mhm.
the best to me. The Thunderstorm crossover, possibly the greatest team up Rangers have done. Just that morphing sequence, and I'm gonna put this out there. I know we keep talking about, ooh, let's try to get Kevin Duhaney on here. And my boy's gone again. Dang. You back, dog.
Dude, I'm
Losing that
back and
budget.
I'm back from the wilderness. Like, this is crazy, dude. I just showed back up out of nowhere, out of reality. I'm back. It's almost like I went out of the lights, right? I went through some problems and
But
I
you figured
went
it out.
into the grid. I figured it out, man. I guess my lonely little background crashes things.
Apparently.
I guess it's all good. You were
Mm,
talking about old boy Kevin.
yeah. What's up, Kev? What's up, baby?
Kev,
Um,
Kev, you know, if you ever see it, that'd be nice. At least it hasn't
I
been
know, dude.
seen.
What I was saying before, this would be a great thing I would love to ask him. When it came to that Ninja Storm team up, there's that scene when they're heading to the quarry for the battle, and each one is running, you know, with their respective kind of like colors and partners and all that. And bro, they're just like booking it. And I think one of them, I think it's like him and Dustin. You see on their face, they're just like going. And I remember hearing something that was actually like a race between them. Like they like it's kind of started as like an inside joke. And like all of a sudden they're like, no, we the best. We're gonna like beat you here. Like we can beat you guys in a race. And so they were like legitimately racing each other to get to that spot.
Oh, so they thought there was Apollo and Rocky.
Yeah. Yeah. So
They thought they was Creed. Creed?
don't make me cry, dog. Don't make me cry.
Oh wow.
Anyway.
First movie?
Ugh.
In the
Even
corner?
the second one. Even the second one, dude.
Oh,
The
second
second
one's
one
good.
too. The second one. I was crying all in and out of that movie.
It
But
sounds like
hey,
to me like you just were looking for a way to cry.
maybe that might have been it. Surprisingly though, I haven't seen the third one yet. What's wrong with me? What's
Oh,
wrong with me?
I've seen the third one.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Rangers.
Come on, Marcus. What are we doing here, Morton?
Yeah. um my
Come on,
only
college sweater. Carlton. Carlton ass. Go ahead. Hey, it hasn't messed up, dude. Things are going good right now.
apparently all right.
Things are going good, man.
No, I would say my one gripe about Dino Thunder. My one, I want to say issue, but I guess issue. I'm like, Tommy gets off scot free, and he should have faced some consequences.
For
And
what?
what I mean by that is, let's be real. The Tyranno drones, he helped create. The Biozords at first. So there's Zords. He helped create.
Mm-hmm.
Mesogog ultimately was the thing of it was like he's kind of doing all this stuff. And it's like these kids have to pay for it in a sense of all there's like, you know. And I think the person that probably paid for it the most out of all of them was Trent. But it's just kind of like Tommy just kind of gets off scot-free. And I think it would have been a interesting season. I mean, I know it's a kid show and they're just, hey, we're going through this and just doing this and that's it. But I think it would have been, I mean, I think now, if this were done nowadays, it would have been interesting to see, like, well, hey, dude, you did all this. This is like kind of your responsibility in a sense. So
Wasn't he one of the main ones to help clean it up?
I mean, yeah, but it's also like, look at what you unleashed, though.
Yeah, but
It,
you wouldn't
it,
have
it's
any of this stuff. You wouldn't have any of this cool stuff. And you know what? Pretty much, if I was him, I'd have been like, "Oh yeah, Trent, what was me? Give me your morpher then." Well, no, I like this. Okay, then you welcome. Pick a lane, bruh.
I think there. I mean, there are some interesting what ifs I've seen with Dino Thunder of what could have been. Of like what someone said, what if like
What
because we
if?
found out.
I always have questions with what ifs when it comes to Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are people talking about it as if they wrote it and they're in a do adult way, or are they doing it in
No,
the parameters that are given in the kids show?
no, this is more of like a man. Imagine if it's more like imagine if they did this type thing.
I know that, but I'm saying are the parameters based around a kids show.
Oh, I don't know.
I
I
always
think.
wonder that because like we as fans, all right.
Mhm.
Now I feel like I'm gonna go on a tangent, but we as fans always say, "Oh man, they should have did this, should have done that, should have did this, should have done that." Well, what if they wanted to do that, but then
Yeah.
when they brought that script in, right,
Mhm.
to the network was like, "No, actually, this show is meant for children under 8."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Yeah. So any of those references, you need to edit all those out, rewrite it.
Mhm.
We're doing a show for this. This is why we paid you 30 million or 50 million for the season. Okay. And I always wonder that because then people are always like, what if this? What if that? Well, like, what if there was no rules? Then
Yeah.
they make the best
No,
seasons ever.
yeah.
I just
No,
always
I
wonder
think
that because like fans always have this, and it's cool, right? To think outside the box. And oh man, think if something could do this because we all do that, right? Man, think if I had $150 million, what I would do for people, my friends and family, right?
mhm.
But it's crazy when we almost like more than Monday morning quarterback it, right? Because truth be told, if you had the pencil back then, especially in 04, 03, you had the pencil. Would you have even thought of this concept for Power Rangers?
Mhm.
I'm not saying you specifically, but the people,
No,
right?
I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always think about that sometimes because I'm like, I don't think we give enough credit to the writers themselves that put it together.
Yeah.
It's a
No,
hard
you're right.
job.
No, you're right. Especially with like especially in this like Disney era, the shows they kept cutting back more and more financially as the
Yeah.
seasons progressed. It was like a cool, you made this show for like let's say $10 million. Here, now do it
And they
for 9
profited
million.
how much? And they profited
Yeah.
how much?
Hey, now do it for 9 million. Oh, next season, 7.5.
And
Next
it's
one,
super weird,
5.
right, Marcus? Like, it's
Mhm.
weird because it's almost like when they do it as a test to see if they
Yeah.
can do it on that budget.
But
Oh,
then
you can
it's
make
like,
it work? You made it work with 9? Well, shoot, man, you're really good with the money and how to figure this stuff out. Let's see if you can do it with 7.5.
yeah.
It's like, at jobs where people, the one person, "Oh, you filled in for that person, and you can do that job and your job at the same time? That's cool, we don't need that other person.
Cool.
Hey,
Here you go.
yeah, can you do this other one for us too?
Mhm.
Dang, you're doing 3 people's job at 1, and we're paying you the same salary you were at the beginning."
Yep.
It's just funny, right? Like, that's just it's weird, it's
Yeah.
like that's
But
just how society works, I guess, I don't know.
it is. But but back to the what if thing. They're saying if, and I guess it would have been for this show. Oh, dang, he's gone again. Back again. Um, but the what if that I was talking about though, it was what if they had made Zeltrax one of the past Rangers? And that's a pretty good one because the whole thing was like he was kind of like a friend of Tommy's. He worked with him for Mercer and all that. And I was like, that actually would have been pretty cool. And I think the one they suggested was Billy. I don't know, dude.
That's so random.
Yeah, but that would have been interesting though. Um, if to have that dynamic in there. And then I saw this other thing, which this picture of this guy reminded me of, like, and especially watching back, Mesogog was originally supposed to get that um white dino gem. Like it was supposed to be for him.
Mhm.
Um, there's this guy on Instagram, Shining Brave. He did a photo shoot where he has like the white Dino Thunder suit and he takes off the helmet and it's Mesogog's face.
Mm.
It's his head. And I'm like, oh, that would have been kind of sick. But you know,
Um, speaking of, like, who Zeltrax could have been, honestly, you know who would have been a really cool one, just I guess if we're just, like, spitballing people, as, Rocky,
yeah.
but only because, like, it felt like he got phased out,
Hmm.
right? And, like, he was just gone right away. That could have been
Yeah.
something different, and he would have had, I guess, a real good storyline of, like, "You never let me be a leader. I became less than
Oh,
second. I became less than second to you,
yeah. Ooh,
and eventually you replaced me for a kid." You know what I mean? I hurt my back and
yeah.
you forgot about me. And I was in a wheelchair and you knew it all along. I knew one day if I could be standing, I could get my vengeance on you.
Dang, bro. That
That'd
would
have
have
been
been
sick.
sick. That would have been
That'd have been
sick.
tight. Yeah,
Um,
it was sick, dude.
but yeah, man, Dino Thunder.
I
And then
do you think that you have a like a big affinity for it too because it's like the season that got you back?
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Um, like it drew me back in, but not just that, but it was also good though. It's just also
No, yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
good.
for sure, for
And
sure.
I think that like helps it too, is the fact that it's like it's a season that drew me back in. Not only that, it was good. And this is the thing, other people that I went to school with were actually watching it because
Well,
they
and
saw Tommy, because they heard Tommy was back.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah.
other people knew what was going on with Power Rangers. And I felt like, I know we talk a lot about like the sort of like renaissance that Rangers had for that 20-year anniversary.
Mhm.
I feel like at this time though, this was a little like there was a kind of rebirth of Rangers in a sense here. Like Ninja Storm happened, that was cool, but Dino Thunder, it really kicked it back in gear. Because Dino
Yeah.
Thunder, SPD, Mystic Force, people remember those seasons. There were people in high school watching them.
Yeah, yeah, you're lucky, man. I didn't have anybody doing that. Them were any of the people I was hanging out with, they weren't doing that. I couldn't talk about the only thing man, looking back then, the only thing I could talk about, and I still had to keep it like almost undercover, is Yu-Gi-Oh! And I still had to keep it undercover somewhat.
Yeah. Um,
Was that going to tournaments and other things like, and I would go, but you would still almost have to like keep it undercover because I would see kids like at from school at the tournaments. They'd be like, "Hey," and they're like, "Oh, Richard, you're here?
like, no, I'm
Yeah.
not.
What are
Shut
you
up.
here? What are you here for?"
No,
And
bro.
I would usually be the guy to be like, "Are you here for the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament?" Yeah. Why? I am too. Are you really? Yeah. Shut up. Don't tell nobody.
Hey, bro. You veto getting caught at the club.
I'm
You veto on
Vito.
the you veto on the Sopranos getting caught at the club.
I'm a
You
super
Vegas.
super.
You over there.
Yeah. I just saw that clip the other day again. People talking about that clip. People love that clip.
Because it's so funny. He's just like this.
Oh yeah, that boy getting it. Boy got sugar in his tank. That's for dang sure. That's a
Heck
funny
yeah.
clip though.
It
Especially the
is.
one we put it to our other friend, our former wrestler we used to wrestle with. He's Vito, literally.
Dude, just that motion. Just
What do you think about Connor?
oh. I like Connor. I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of these like teen like they grew a lot. And there was a lot of growth within this season. Like he went from kind of like immature dumb jock to he's he has some depth to him. He gained actual like leadership, you know.
Don't you think
Um
he fit the time too?
oh yeah, because he always thought he looked like Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, he looked like Kutcher. He looked
Yeah,
like all
that
the guys from like
it was
Laguna
the hair.
Beach, like
Yeah.
all those shows. Remember that? Like the
Hmm.
guys at the time, like that was what the dudes on TV looked like. He looked just like them. If you had to rank him though, and be honest, is he a top 10 Red Ranger?
Um
Be
ooh,
truthful. I say no.
I think he's in years past, yes. Recently, I feel he's moved down my list. To
Yeah,
me,
yeah, and
I would
yeah.
still probably have him at like a 10 or like an honorable mention if he's not in my top 10. But I know for like the longest, like, yeah, he was because they're like, you know, but he kind of, in a sense, I feel like had almost that like Rocky thing about him where it's like, yeah, he's the Red Ranger, but Tommy was still calling the shots here, though.
Yeah, Tommy was 100% calling the shots.
Yeah.
by the way. Like, I didn't think he was a top 10, and that was even back then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't see him like that. I don't know why. And you're probably right. It's probably the vibe of that.
Yeah,
Right.
because I mean, and I feel like the same thing could be said about like character wise, he had a lot of growth and like that was great. But when it comes to like Red Rangers, I feel like me ranking him as a top 10 is the same reason why people say Carter from Lightspeed Rescue is a top 10. I don't see Carter as a top 10.
Really?
I don't.
I see Carter as more than him. Because no one Tommied Carter.
Yeah.
Who, like, you know what I mean? Like, if that's a weird saying to say, right? No one Tommied Carter, but like I really feel that like no one really did.
I know, I get that. I get that, but
you know who's my top 2? If I'm
who?
going just right now, Red Rangers all time, Jason, TJ. And it's weird because like what TJ for me is, and this isn't the TJ podcast, but I give old boy love all the time. If I found his figure, the turbo red figure, I'd buy it. But
100%.
I guess I could always go online, but whatever.
Yeah.
But like those qualities in TJ shined even more, which is crazy when he was the Blue Space Ranger. I don't want to say they shined more. They were shown in a better light because he wasn't on the losing end.
And it was like he went from, and you're gone again. So TJ's top 2. I get that.
Yeah, TJ, I could put him top 2 in my head because we'd even have to go back, and this would be a fun like thing to do, just to go back, just to almost examine how was Turbo, not even counting like the last couple episodes, like how was Turbo from when they took over through that, like judging it just off that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like I don't even remember how many episodes it is, but like he showed a lot of leadership through there. Truth be told, bro, he carried the team.
Oh no, 100%.
And this isn't a hate on any of the others, right? But if we're just going memorable Rangers, I don't think hit it but him.
No. Maybe Cassie. Andros from space.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Well, yeah. Well, if you want to talk like in space and fully, like,
but just Turbo, him and Cassie, yeah.
Yeah, but like, and if we're talking in space, yeah, of course, Andros, like, we'll never forget how he looked. So
only had the hair. It was the hair.
The hair, that was it, dude.
In the hole.
I guess if we're going like, Andros was great, like fighting skill, but he wasn't the leader.
No,
he wasn't. It is what it is, dude. And I know you hated him. Zane was cool as hell.
No, he was cool.
Zane was Jey Uso.
Zane is not Jey Uso.
Zane was totally Jey Uso.
Zane is not Jey Uso.
It's just me.
Nah, he more like, he probably like an LA Knight. He cool.
Hey, oh, you mean the loudest pop at the chamber?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. I skipped it.
Okay.
I skipped. The only one I watched was the women's one. And then I think Rhea. Because it got spoiled for me because I watch it later. So I was like, I don't really care. Because I saw who won, so I'm like,
the men's was great.
Yeah? Cool. I mean,
yeah, it was actually really good. My boy Randy can storytell like a mother. You know we're recording, right?
I know. I'm gonna cut this.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut this. This episode's gonna have a lot of edit.
Yeah, I'm like, you know,
yeah.
That's why I'm like, I didn't know. I didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up this Dino Thunder talk.
Okay, let's wrap. You back again? You haven't disappeared again, so let's wrap up Dino Thunder while we still can.
You said it out loud, so it's gonna happen.
All right,
but
I know. Let's get this done first. Amazing season.
Amazing, yeah, I agree.
Season.
It's a top 5 season.
100%. I think honestly, besides Tommy, I think the most popular one from the team is Kira. Actually, the girl.
Yeah.
I think she's kind of like the most popular. I think it also helps that the fact that she came back for the once Once a Ranger, Always a Ranger, and was featured
Mm-hmm.
in that. But like a lot of people liked her though too, because also, hey, she was the only girl. Like her and Tori, a lot of people like those two. They're the only females on their team, so I think
She
kind
looks
of
like
helped.
every little singer during that time.
Yep, 100%.
She looks like she's singing Since You've Been Gone.
Yeah,
She
or
can't
Skater
even
Boy.
breathe for the first time.
But at the end,
She said,
she's
"See you
hitting that
later,
misery
boy."
business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ethan was great. Ethan's cool. He's just cool.
Yeah.
He's just a
Read
cool.
your
He's
read
just
read your
like,
DMs, man.
come on, Kevin. Come
Come
on,
on,
Kev.
brother. Marcus, go
Talk to
buy
him.
the freaking 20th anniversary thing that he's pimping out on X or Twitter.
I know. I was like, if I buy one, will you talk to us, please, sir?
Mm-hmm.
And Trent, great suit. Homie got a little nerfed. Let's be real. He was nerfed, but it's just because they weren't really writing their own stuff for him,
Mm-hmm.
So because they only used the footage that they had of him, they weren't really making extra stuff. So that's what nerfs him.
Out of budget.
Still, yeah, but still, honestly, one of my top, like he'd probably be my top most powerful. Toe to toe with
Yeah,
Thomas.
you know what's hard for him to be most powerful for me? He's not like a great character outside of the suit. I
Yeah,
personally just don't feel I just don't
it's
dig like his character outside of the suit a ton personally.
yeah, I could see that.
That's just my opinion,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm not saying this has nothing to do with like honestly, if we probably go power for power on Six Ranger, you're probably right. But
Mm-hmm.
like I just say like his character makes him less desirable to me.
After
Trent
like once
Mercer.
once he became good, he dropped a lot. Not just the character, but like the character did. Because when he was going through it, and even when he was evil, yeah, dude. But once he joined the team, he was just kind of there until
His
they brought back.
haircut's rough too.
That was the kind of the thing though of that time though.
Oh, I know.
The messy cuts.
Yeah.
Um, let's see what, but
White boy haircuts.
he's gone. Oh, you're back. Dang. Oh, you're gone. Dang. The white boy haircuts.
He's gone. He's gone. All right, man.
I'm like, oh, you're back. Oh no, you're gone. Oh, anyway,
Yeah.
is the white boy haircut
I don't know
mine.
what's going on.
Um,
I'm trying to
anyway,
listen to the thing.
no. Team up episodes, amazing, top tier. Thunderstorm, even the ones with SPD, the fact that we got two separate ones that live on their own, which is great. That those were incredible.
That's cool. Where's Tommy at in that SPD one?
That's when he's fighting, dog. He was cage fighting then. Hence why he's only in suit. I know. I was like, that is all that was missing.
Thanks for the appearance, man. You really helped us out.
Yeah. I will say this: the thing that always got me with Dino Thunder, that that finale, man. I always really liked it.
What was your favorite part?
Of the finale, I think just like the end of like the prom. Just because it kind of like when you look at it, like if we look at it from like the perspective of a school year, and just kind of like high school in general, it's supposed to be like high school this time. You make friends with people you didn't think you would, or you did, or whatever. But then like you go through stuff with them, and then it's kind of over, and then life happens, and now you have to move on with your life. This was kind of like a great example of that. And for me, I think it hit for me, I don't want to say hard, but even more because that was that time, even though I was in 8th grade when it ended, at the time when it ended, I had such a group of like strong group of friends. There's so many of us, but then we all found out we're getting split up because that's when the two high schools, now there's going to be two high schools, and you guys are going to this one and you guys are going to that one.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it was like, oh wow, we had this great time together, and now it's gone, and now it's over.
Was Vitamin C playing in the background? Was that her name? All
Yep.
the times we had together.
Together.
All
Oh, he's still going. You still singing that song, though, acting like you got time, like you ain't gonna disappear.
It's
No,
good.
No, man. Every time I watch it, like I'm just like, man, that was so good. It gets me, dog, every time.
That's good. I was like, oh, that's cool. End of the season. What's next?
Yeah. Well, that's Dino.
Are we gonna get Tommy again? And you know
Tommy
what?
coming
We
back?
did. We did. We got Tommy again. Let's talk about what's next. And before I glitch out, episode 42 is coming. We did like a little wheel. We figured out who we're gonna go with next. We're gonna talk about some Wild Force.
Things are getting wild.
There's a lot to talk about in Wild Force. There's a lot of things to talk about that are like crazy for Power Rangers.
Yes.
Right? Because we are gonna get into that part. Just
interesting
because.
connection. I'm just saying that's actually a kind of good. I mean, we have Tommy here because right before Tommy came back to Dino Thunder, he did that MTV show. You remember that show?
No, I don't know what you're talking
It
about.
was, I don't know, it was kind of dirty. I think it was like a dirty show. It just went about a bunch of people hooking up and stuff. Anyway, Tommy did the show, and the girl who he's hooking up with, Yellow Wild Force Ranger.
Wow.
Yep. So,
well, we're also going to be able to talk about Forever Red.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that'll probably be its own episode.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So get ready. We're going to hop into some Wild Force. We're on the way to 50. 50, we're talking about 2017 movie. It's already planned out. Ready to go. Let's get out of here before I get, chopped up again. Chopped and screwed. This is the chopped and screwed edition.
Oh, there's a
chopped and screw and
you hit that living chop and screw. Ooh.
Shawty gon' trap me. Shawty gon' screw me. Shawty gon' trap me. Shawty gonna screw. Yeah.
It's Richard. It's Richard. It's Marcus. We got it. Grocery bag.
Yeah.